Sir Roland de Boy has died, leaving a havoc in his wake. His eldest son essentially disinherits and threatens the life of his brother. A duke steals the power from his brother, and tangos in love prevail. Even in the midst of chaos, a happy ending occurs when lovers reunite, bad guys transform, and the people return to their problem-free lives.
Welcome to my talk show, where I tell the public what really happens to everyone's favorite high school students. As I understand, Rosalind, you've taken quite a rocky path to find your true love, or at least for now, Orlando.
Yes, this is true. But the experience really only deepened my love for Orlando. I was given the opportunity to see his true moral character.
So, how did the whole chaotic ordeal begin?
Well, actually, since I'm really forgetful and all, I took a couple notes, to remember it.
Okay, well, I just have some questions here to ask
All
you.
right.
So, let's get started.
Well, it began with the death of Orlando, and his brother, Oliver's dad's death, too. Their father left his inheritance to Oliver, with clear instructions to take care of Orlando. But instead, Oliver, like the dummy he is, turned Orlando practically on the streets and planned to kill him.
That's just awful.
I know, right? Well, before Orlando knew that his dear brother was having him killed, he challenged Charles to a basketball game. He was one of the best basketball players from Faith Lutheran, which their rival team in the 4A high school division is Gorman.
Wasn't Gorman dealing with a little bit of a power struggle with the students trying to take over the school? Like, at the same time, Faith was trying to work out the death of their principal, the leader.
It was really sad. They certainly were. Duke Frederick had taken the power of Gorman's most powerful basketball team away from the rightful heir, Duke Sr. Duke Sr. then took refuge in Pahrump, of all places, Pahrump.
What an odd choice. But I guess the trails and desert provide many, sanctuaries.
I suppose. Out of pity and perhaps because I was the daughter of Cecilia's best friend, Duke Frederick had allowed me to stay in Gorman and continue to act.
Yes, well, back to the story about Orlando and you.
Well, Orlando did play Charles in a very intense basketball game, and he beat him, might I add. Charles, the champion, was beat by my dear Orlando. I just love Orlando. I love him. Oh, sorry, the basketball game was where Orlando and I fell in love. Did I tell you that?
No.
Like, Cecilia was the cheerleader supporting Charles, and I instantly fell in love with Orlando, and he fell in love with me. It was amazing. But then Orlando discovered that Oliver was plotting to kill him. So Orlando rode his bike all the way to Pahrump that night, just for protection.
And you left that night too, right?
Well, yeah. Duke Frederick changed his mind and forced me to leave Gorman. I didn't know where to go. I mean, there were only so many few good high schools in Nevada. So I went to Pahrump, just to have a little fun and all. I took my best friend and Duke Frederick's daughter, Cecilia, with me, as well as Crusader the mascot, our mascot.
So you and Orlando left at the same time for the same place. How coincidental.
Yeah, that's exactly what Duke Frederick thought. So he appointed Oliver as head of the search party to find everyone who ran to Pahrump.
How did he force Oliver to lead the search hunt when Oliver wanted Orlando dead?
Well, Duke Frederick threatened to steal all of Oliver's school books and school records. And then he decided that he wanted Duke Sr. dead as well. But what they didn't know was Cecilia and I, we disguised ourselves. Pretty smart, I know. I'd taken on an appearance of a boy called Ganymede, and Cecilia sought protection under Elena.
Nice names.
Thank you.
What happened when you arrived to Pahrump?
Oh, this is a great story. So Cecilia and I, we met this lovesick golf owner named Sylvius, who offers a free game of golf in the only golf field in Pahrump. He desperately loved the woman Phoebe, let me just tell you, the head caddy, but she continually scorned his efforts.
How sad. So, what was Orlando doing at this time in Pahrump?
Well, the story about what happened to Orlando before I met him is just secondhand, but I guess I'll do my best to get the facts straight.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, I'll read what I have off here.
Okay.
In the Pahrump desert, Orlando had gained a travel companion. He was unkempt and starving, but, he was still company. Orlando sees his companion desperately needs food and water, so he barges into the motel, off the main street where everyone prom drives on.
Right.
And guess who was there?
Oh yeah, Mr. Elliot?
No, but Mr. Elliot loves prom. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Right. Right before we go to our commercial break, I'm going to show you what's to come. Here's Rosalind disguised as Ganymede to show the audience what she looks like as a boy.
Well, I learned, you can never judge a book by its cover. I mean, people change with time. I mean, look at me, people thought I was a boy, but really inside, I knew I was a girl. Just no one knew. And Orlando, for example, in the beginning, he just didn't really recognize me and, appreciate me. And at the end, we, fell in love, and he does everything for me, and he appreciates me. Duke Sr. and a few of his fellow exiles were there. And Duke Sr. greets Orlando very friendly and assures him that his companion will be taken care of.
Wow, that's really good to hear. So how did you and Orlando eventually meet up again?
Well, Orlando was very lovesick. He was acting nearly mad from lovesick. He was putting up love letters addressed to me all over town. I even went to a gas station, and inside of a soda can, there was a love letter for me.
He certainly must have been going slightly mad.
Yes. Well, the next day I encountered him in the middle of the motel, disgusted with Ganymede, and agreed to give him a lesson in love. I, however, made him promise that he would come every day and court me as if I were Rosalind.
So you were disguised as a boy. That's really kind of twisted.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I guess, but that's not all, is it? Wasn't there even more of a twist concerning Sylvia's and Phoebe?
Oh, yes. I couldn't stand to watch Sylvia's helplessly pine away for Phoebe's heart, so I tried to, what is that word?
Intercede.
What is
It's
it?
okay. You're a cheerleader. Just keep going.
Okay, anyways, but then Phoebe fell in love with Ganymede. Let me tell you, that was awkward.
I bet. I wouldn't envy your situation one bit. Everyone knows the best way to a guy's heart is through their stomach. Ganymede, look what I brought you.
What?
Food.
Go give it to Sylvia's. He loves you. That's crap.
Ganymede, I love you.
Well, I don't love you.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for your sympathy. Not. Anyways, so one day Orlando didn't come for his love lesson. I mean, I freaked out. I hyperventilated. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what that word means?
Yeah, just go on.
And then Oliver found me and gave me Orlando's shirt covered in dirt and blood.
What happened to Orlando?
I was just getting there, but you know how to take a pause for effect.
Oh, okay.
Orlando had come across Oliver about to be beaten and mugged by a homeless drug addict. He looked a bit like, Jackie Chan. This is what I was told, I wasn't there or anything. Well,
Right.
Orlando beat the guy, of course. Only if she knew I was really a girl. Well, actually, you didn't want it.
Did I help him? I mean, he is my brother, but he did threaten my life. Alright. I know, I'm gonna do the right thing.
And saved Oliver's butt, how the story works.
Yeah. So that's very remarkable and all. So.
Yeah, it's very honorable and brave Orlando. That's just him,
So is that how Cecilia and Oliver met?
Yes. When I was freaking out, Cecilia was with me. And Oliver showed up to tell us what happened to Orlando. They fell in love at first sight. It was so sweet. I was so happy for them. That day, they decided to go to prom together in Las Vegas. The same day they met.
I now understand why so many couples get in fights.
Just because you haven't found your soulmate doesn't mean you have to be so bitter all the time.
Just get back to your story. How did everyone end up together?
I decided that the charade had gone on for way too long. Orlando was tired of pretending Ganymede was really me, and Phoebe was being extremely creepy in her attempts to woo me.
That's seriously messed up. But continue, please.
Alright, I will.